Welcome everyone to the USAF online kids Aikido classes. I would like to, my name's Arturo Peel. I'm in New Orleans, and I would love to introduce you to Nan Rodriguez Sensei in Albany. Go ahead, Sensei. Let me give you the bell.
Right? Onegaishimasu. Welcome everybody. I am so honored to be included in this series of USAF online Zoom classes for kids. Thank you to Arturo Sensei and the whole working group for coordinating today. Before we start class, I just want to say a couple things. I want to thank Yamada Sensei and the USAF. I actually have had the privilege of knowing Yamada Sensei since I was maybe as young as some of you are today. And that certainly is a privilege indeed. I also want to say to each and every one of you how proud I am of you for showing up to class today. If you're here doing class, then that shows you are learning the true meaning behind Aikido. We can't do soccer, we can't do a lot of sports, we can't do, some people are doing baseball, but a lot of places are saying, can't do baseball, we can't do any sport where we might touch each other. But we can do Aikido alone, we are figuring out. And figuring out how to do Aikido in a different way is really, if you think about it, the heart of Aikido. We learn to go with the flow, use what we've got, and make the best of it. So I just want to say to everybody how proud I am of you for being here today. And I'm really excited to start class. So, onegaishimasu. Let's all stand up. If we were in my dojo, this would be our time to everybody run around the mat. Since we can't do that, let's first stand up and make sure everybody has room to move their arms. And maybe move a little bit to the side and a little bit to the side and a little bit in front. If you have to move some furniture out of the way, take a moment now to do that. And I have one request for you guys. If you're near a pillow or a ball or a stuffed animal, go grab that real quick right now. You're not going to miss anything. We're going to use this at a certain point in our day. And in the meantime, while everybody's doing that, since we can't run around, let's just do some jumping. Jump, jump, jump. As you jump, clap your arms. Imagine yourself a loose dog with no tension in your body anywhere. You're just flapping around. And the only thing making you jump are your feet. Keep jumping. Imagine yourself, you can do some twisting, like you're skiing maybe. You can move your feet. Just do whatever you need to do to get your heart pumping and your blood moving and your lungs breathing, and then stop. And so, I don't know what time it is at your house today, but if it's morning and you're feeling all wiggly and like you've got lots of energy, or if it's afternoon and you're feeling like you're kind of tired, think about where you feel right now and imagine the ground. If you're feeling really nervous, imagine the ground is absorbing your energy. And if you're feeling really tired and like you kind of don't want to take class, imagine the ground is sending energy up into your legs. And it goes all throughout your body and to your arms. And with that, let's make some big circles with our hips. Imagine you're tracing a big circle or you're doing a hula hoop in slow motion. Go in one direction. Big circles with your hips. Our feet are a little wider than hip distance apart. And keep your knees a little bit bent while you do this, and your shoulders, your posture good. And now switch direction. And do some more circles in the other direction. And this helps the parts of our body that we use in Aikido get nice and warmed up for our strengthening exercises, which we're going to do next. So one of the things that I've been thinking about as I do Aikido by myself is ways to keep the parts of my body strong that need to be strong to do Aikido that I'm not really using on a daily basis since I'm not rolling or throwing. So one of those muscle groups is our legs. So put your feet a little farther apart than they just were, and we're going to do some deep knee bends. I have a little bit of a knee thing, so we're not going to do bunny hops, but as you do the deep knee bends, imagine your butt and your belly going down, 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 down as far as you can get without having to do this. So you want to bend down as far as you can, keeping your back straight. So we're going to do 10 of those, feet a little wider than hip apart, hip distance apart, feet out in the same direction that your knees bend, and we're going to count together. You can count with me if you want. Ready? Ich, ni, san, shi, go, roku, shich, hach, kyu, and ju. Now stay down, stay down, stay down. Hold your arms out for an extra challenge. And if it hurts, just take a deep breath and see if you can take away the hurt for a second, and then whew, let it all out. And now, wiggle your hips a little bit to get the tension out of your legs. If we keep our legs nice and strong and our knees able to bend, then we can do technique and a good and safe posture. Now let's work our arms and our shoulders, which are the other parts of our body that we need to keep strong and limber. So my challenge to you on this is to keep your arms up. Don't let them drop if you can do it this whole time. So we're going to start with big arm circles going back. Big arm circles going back. And after we get about 10 of those, we're going to switch direction and switch to big arm circles going forward. Big. Imagine you've got hula hoops on your hands and you're just twirling them around, or you're drawing circles on the walls with your hands. And now, don't let your arms down. Now do medium-sized circles going back. Keep those arms up. Keep those arms up. Medium circles. Backwards. And imagine, if you feel a little bit of tension, just deep breath in, deep breath out. If you have to let go, it's okay, but see if you can keep your arms up. And now switch directions. Medium-sized circles going forwards. At the end of class, you can tell me if you made it all the way through. Now we're going to switch to teeny tiny miniature circles going backwards. Little circles like you're tracing an apple on the wall with your hands. Little tiny circles. Whoa, I'm already getting sweaty. And now switch to forwards. 10 of these. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, roku, shichi, hach, kyu, chu, and let go. So all that work that you just did is strengthening the muscles and ligaments in your arms and shoulders so that when you're ready to get back to the dojo and do Ikkyo, your arms are going to be still nice and limber and the muscles are going to be nice and strong. So on that note, let's get in left hamni. We're going to do some wrist exercises. This is something that I learned from a colleague online watching his online class a couple weeks ago, which is another thing you can do during this time when we're all learning online. Watch each other. Watch all the classes you can watch and take the parts of the classes that you watch that work for you and make them work in your home practice. So what I want you to do in your hamni is bend your knees. So you're going to be farther, your feet are going to be farther apart than a regular hamni. Bend those knees nice and deep so that your muscles are engaged. And we're gonna do wrist exercises. So if you haven't done the first one, my left hand is out with thumb down. My right hand comes across, fingers up, and I just grab my hand and I gently pull toward myself. And as I go, I bend my front knee so that there's some motion in what I'm doing. Ready? Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Roku, shichi, hachi, kyu, ju. And now switch to right hamni, or whatever hamni you weren't in before. Switch to the other one. Feet farther apart than usual. Bend that front leg. Same leg as arm out. Thumb down. Grabbing hand, fingers up, and gently pull in for 10. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Roku, shichi, hachi, kyu, ju. And switch back to your first hamni. Both knees bent. And we're gonna do koregaeshi. So I'm looking at my hand, my palm is facing my face. My grabbing hand grabs from behind, thumb on pinky, and I gently twist down. Ready? Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Roku, shichi, hachi, kyu, ju. And switch those feet. Feet further apart than normal, bend those knees. Same side hand as leg. Looks at my face, I grab from the other hand, thumb on pinky, and gently twist down. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Roku, shichi, hachi, kyu, ju. And now switch back to your original hamni. We're gonna do nikyo. So, same side arm as leg, thumb down. This time my grabbing hand is thumb up, and I gently pull toward my center. Bend my knees as I go. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Roku, shichi, hachi, kyu, ju. Very good. Switch those feet farther apart. Bend those knees. Grabbing, same side hand is thumb down. Grabbing hand is thumb up, and ich, ni, san, shi, go. Roku, shichi, hachi, kyu, ju. And last one, put your feet in horse stance, so farther than hip distance apart, knees bent, nice and deep. We're gonna do sankyo. So, left hand or whatever hand you choose, facing away, palm facing out. Grabbing hand comes from on top. See if you can keep those legs bent the whole time. Ready? Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Roku, shichi, hachi, kyu, ju. Don't stand up, just switch hands, see if you can do it. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Roku, shichi, hachi, kyu, and ju. Woo, okay. Now you can stand up, wiggle your hips around, let's do some more circles. If you made it all the way through, awesome. If you didn't, now you have something you can practice on your own. See if you can do it on your own. I learned that fun exercise from Demir Sensei. Whew, that felt really good. All right, so let's do a little wiggle. In fact, feet in farther than hip distance apart. Let's just do some noodle arms. We call these in my dojo noodle arms. You just move your hips. Really, it's just your hips that are moving back and forth. But if you relax those arms, what happens? You give yourself a little smack each time. So let's do a bunch of these. And see how important it is to keep up these exercises even when we're not in the dojo, because I am totally out of breath. Whew. All right. Now let's do some shoulder circles just to loosen up a little for our next thing. A few circles back, a few circles forwards. All right. So now what I'd like to practice is something that you have all done in the dojo before. It's really super simple. It's Tai no Henko, or some people call it Tenkan exercise. Excuse me. And what we're going to do is we're going to pretend that we have an uke standing in front of us in Gyaku Hamni. Do you guys remember what Gyaku Hamni is? If you're thinking that it's a mirror image of exactly what you're doing and your uke's toes are facing your toes, that's exactly right. The opposite is I Hamni. We're going to do Gyaku Hamni. Imagine that they're grabbing your wrist, and we're just going to do two things. I have to catch my breath. We're going to step off the line just a little bit. We're going to do a tenkan and simultaneously extend our hands out as we tenkan, like that. So I'll show it sideways. I have a pretend uke who has grabbed my wrist. I'm going to step off the line as I bring my wrist toward my center. And then as I do that, I'm going to step and tenkan and extend my arms out as though I'm holding a big round bowl at the bottom with my hands. And you want to keep your shoulders back and your head up, and you're looking off into the horizon. Don't look at your wrist. Don't do this. You want to look ahead, or you want to look past your uke and just turn and tenkan and extend. So as my feet go back, my hands go out. So let's do 10 of those all together. We'll go nice and slow. Do your best. Imagine someone's grabbing your wrist. Ready? And each. Step back. Knee. Step back. We're staying in the same hamni. San. Step back. Shi. Step back. And go. Step back. I'll do it sideways so you can see sideways. Ready? The last 5 on this side. Roku. Shichi. Hachi. Kyu. And Ju. Very good. Now switch hamni to the other side. Don't worry about looking at me. Look beyond your imaginary uke, who's grabbing and you're stepping off the line. And tenkan. Ready? And each. Step back. Knee. Step back. San. Step back. Shi. Step back. Go. Now I'll do it sideways if you want to watch. Roku. Back. Shichi. Shoulders up. Hachi. Eyes up. Kyu. And Ju. Very good. And always end in a solid hamni with knees slightly bent. If my feet are too close together and somebody pushes on me, woo, they can knock me over. If my feet are too far apart, somebody could easily knock me over. So you want to have a nice, solid, balanced hamni. Okay, next footwork exercise is we're going to do step tenkan. So instead of just doing an immediate tenkan from whatever hamni I'm in, I'm going to step forward, a rimi. What does a rimi mean? Enter. I'm going to rimi, and then I'm going to tenkan, and I'm going to do ikkyo hands as I go. And as I go in, ikkyo hands up, I tenkan, ikkyo hands go down by my outside hip. So sideways, that is enter and tenkan. Everybody ready? Let's start in left hand here. We're going to do just 10 of these. Ready? And each. Knee. San. Shi. Go. Good. Roku. Shichi. Hachi. Kyu. And Ju. Very good. All right. Do a little wiggling before our next one to make sure your body is relaxed and warmed up. The next footwork exercise we're going to do is rowing exercise. So I don't know if any of you have ever rowed a boat with oars that go out to each side and you move your body. But rowing exercise actually is more about my legs and my hips than it is about my arms. So I could even do rowing exercise and not even do anything with my hands, and my arms are still going to move if I'm doing it right. So for example, if I'm standing in Hamni, I'm not doing this. I want to make sure I'm bending my front knee, bending my back knee, and bending my front knee, and bending my back. And it's a dynamic movement, a nice circular rowing movement. And if I relax my arms, look what happens. But then if I add a little energy to my arms, everything gets a little more exciting. So as you move forward, imagine your energy is going out your hands and beyond you into the horizon. And as you pull back, imagine you're pulling all that good energy in. Energy out, energy in. Energy out, energy in. So we're going to do 10 on each side. Ready? And each, ni, san, shi, go. Keep breathing the whole time. Shichi, hachi, kyu, ju. Very good. Now switch your feet, switch Hamni. Doesn't matter what side you're on, just switch. And each, ni, shan, shoulders relaxed. Go. Roku, Shichi, breathing the whole time. Ju. Very good. Now stand with your feet apart. Raise your arms up. Hold your hands in front of you. Put your hands in front of your center. Straighten out your spine. Shake your hands up and down in front of you and just breathe. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good. Now relax your hands at your side. No intention with what your arms are doing. You're just hanging there. Good. All right. Now we're going to switch to some floor work. So I'm going to move my camera just a little bit so you can see my whole self on the ground. So the other thing that's good to practice, even when we can't have a partner in the dojo, is our kemi. And one of the things I know you guys all like to do is weeble wobble. Weeble wobble helps us with our balance. It helps us with our core muscles. And it's a precursor to rolling. So those of you who haven't, I have some students who are brand new. They got to come to maybe 2 or 3 classes before we had to close the dojo. They're still learning how to roll. Those of you who do break falls in your dojo with your senseis, this still will help you. So we're going to do 10 weeble wobbles. And the idea that I want you to think about, if your teacher does it differently, don't worry, we're just going to try it this way for today, is to think about staying in a small ball. So for example, I have to put my hand down to push myself up because I'm old, but you guys can probably keep your hands on your feet the whole time. But one weeble wobble is just, and then one more. And if you can keep your feet together and your arms kind of in a tight ball, that's the idea I want you to think about for this time of weeble wobble. Okay, so we're going to do 5 in one direction and 5 in the other direction. Make sure you're not going to bang your head on a couch or a coffee table. And ready? Let's go. Each. Ni. Hello. San. Shi. Go. And pause. Now we're going to switch directions. Ready? Roku. Keep those feet together. Shichi. Hachi. You. And you. You should be pretty much where you started. I'm a little over to the right. But you should be pretty much where you started. Now we're going to do a slightly different version of weeble wobble. which is a precursor to a roll or even a break fall. I know some of you know how to do break falls. Some of you are scared of break falls, so this is going to help you get unscared. This time what I want you to do for Weeble Wobble is when you go down on one side, you can even make your legs go out if you want to, more like a starfish shape. When you go down on one side, the other arm is going to reach up high and then reach way back. And that hand is going to look for the mat. So it's going to look like this. Down on one side, look for that mat. And here I am. Down on one side, look for that mat. So what I want you to think about is instead of staying in a small ball, I want you to think about the free arm looking for the mat and being your indicator of where your body's gonna land next. So let's try that. We'll do 5 on each side and see how it goes. Ready? And each hand looks for the mat. Same side, knee. Arms are out, san. Hand looks for the mat, shi. Head never touches the ground, no. And pause. Now we're gonna go the other direction. Roku, hand looks for the mat. There it is. Shichi. Legs can come apart. Hachi. Q. And G. So if you guys have mats at home or a nice soft rug, you guys can wobble back and forth. You can go to one side and then go back to the other side, which is a good exercise or a precursor to learning how to do a break fall. It's basically the same motion. You're getting ready to roll, but instead of rolling, you're touching the mat with your arm. And it's that touching the mat with your arm that keeps your body in the right position. So, the next thing I want to do, I like to do stretching at the end of class instead of at the beginning of class. Before we do stretching, let's do one more ukemi practice. So we're going to do, if you have a rug or a yoga mat, this is great. If you have a wood floor and no cushion, I wouldn't advise doing this because it's gonna, your back is gonna go on the mat. But if you have a rug or a mat, we're just gonna practice our back roll and coming up. And we're gonna think about 2 things. We're gonna think about our chin staying tucked so our head doesn't touch the mat. And we're gonna think about switching our feet, maybe 3 things. And our hands staying in the space between our legs. So for example, one will look like one foot, one knee is up, one knee is down. I'm gonna go back, switch my feet, and come up. And now the same side leg as hand, that's the hand that's up. Okay? So we're gonna do 10 of those. Go nice and slow, protect your back, protect your head, and let's go. Each, and up, knee, and up, san, and up. Think of your center as staying forward. Shi, and up, go, and up. Roku, and up. Good posture. Shichi, and up. Hachi, and up. Q, and up. Good posture. Two. Very good. Awesome, guys. I don't know about you, but I'm nice and sweaty. Just checking your time. All right, perfect. So now, stay sitting. Open your legs. Spread your feet up as far apart as you can comfortably without hurting your legs or your back. And I'm going to move. You guys stay the way you are. The idea that I want you to think about is keep your legs the right distance so that your back can stay straight. I don't want you guys to do this, because if you do this, you're not really stretching out your hips or your legs or keeping your core muscles engaged, all of which are important in Aikido. So, as you sit with your legs apart, keep your back and your shoulders. Imagine somebody is holding your shoulders from underneath and just lifting you up. So you've got beautiful Aikido posture, even in this position. And as you go to your stretch, we're going to go down to one side. We're going to reach for the same side foot. If you can grab your toes, great. If you can't, grab your ankle. If you can't do that, grab your leg or put your hand on the mat, whatever feels good for you. And then we're gonna raise our other side up, our other arm up, and stretch down. And I want you to think about your armpit looking up at the ceiling. So we're not doing this. We're raising our arm up, almost like we just did in that back fall thing that we did. That arm goes up, armpits looking at the sky, and pull yourself down and breathe and feel that stretch. Feels really good. And now come back to the middle. Align yourself so your spine is straight. Lean over to the other side, grab your toes if you can, or your knee, or whatever else part of your body that's comfortable. Raise the free arm up, and armpit looks at the ceiling. And pull down and stretch. You're gonna feel it in your side. You might feel it in your hip. Make sure both sides of your bum stay on the mat as you do this. So if one side is lifting up, move your leg in a little. And back to the original side one more time. Armpit looking at the sky. Stretch, stretch, stretch. It's important to stretch at the end of class so that your muscles stay nice and limber. When we go back to the dojo, everybody's going to be so excited to practice. Want to make sure your bodies are strong and limber. Good. All right, now we are going to do opposite arm or opposite hand to opposite foot. So take one hand, turn your body, grab the opposite foot toes if you can. If you can't grab toes, put it on the outside of your knee and just think about your center and your chest leaning toward that leg and pull down, shoulders back, chin up. Breathe. Feel that nice stretch. Keep both sides of your bum on the mat. And now switch to the other side. Both sides of your bum on the mat. Opposite side, opposite hand to opposite leg. Good. Whew. All right. Now we're going to go through the middle. So come back up. Raise your arms up. Look at the sky if you want. Wiggle back and forth so your spine is nice and relaxed. And then lean forward, but as you do so, imagine your belly button is the thing that's trying to touch the mat. Not your head, not your hands, but your belly button. Because again, you want to make sure that your back stays nice and straight and your whole front self is going toward the mat. I'm not that flexible, so I can't lie myself down on the mat, but some people can. You probably can. But it's your belly button that's thinking about touching that mat. If I do this to try to reach, I'm not really stretching anything. I'm just kind of arching my back. So keep your back nice and straight. Arms up and forward. Keep your feet flexed if you can. If you want, you can put your hands down on the mat. But imagine your chest is looking ahead of you. And maybe look up beyond the screen as you do this and just take a deep breath in. And breathe out slowly. You keep breathing. I'm going to look at the clock because I got it at a weird angle. You keep breathing. Don't you move your position. All right. One more stretch forward. Nice. All right, sit up. Move your feet together. Keep your feet flexed, nice and firm. So your toes are pointing toward yourself and your butt is on the mat. Again, straight back, shoulders back. Reach your arms way up. Move your feet apart if it feels more comfortable. And reach forward. Your belly button is lying down on top of your thighs. And pull your chest and yourself forward. Keep your back nice and stretched out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Really good. All right, we're going to do 2 more stretches. So now, put your feet together like a weeble wobble. Hold your feet, rock yourself back and forth to make sure your sits bones or the bones that are in your butt are what are touching the mat and not the back of your butt, but just those bones. You can feel them if you wiggle back and forth a little bit. And hold your toes and gently pull forward. All the same ideas. Straight spine, relaxed, chest forward, smile. Be proud of yourself. Good. And gently back up. Now we're going to twist to one side. One hand is going to put palm down on the mat. I'll move, you guys stay the same. One hand is going to be on the mat. The free hand is going to go on the outside of my knee and push so I can twist and turn my head like an owl, looking over my shoulder. But only do it so that it doesn't hurt. And push, breathe out, breathe in, going back a little toward the front, push again, breathe out. This squeezes all the old air out of your lungs and makes room for the new air. Now we're going to switch sides. One palm goes on the mat, one hand goes outside my knee. I breathe out and twist. Come back to the neutral, breathe in. Go back and breathe out. And twist. Very good. Nice. Now, I want everybody to sit seiza. I'm sure you guys all have no problem sitting seiza, but it's important to sit like this even when you're like playing with your brother or your sister or watching TV or playing with your Legos or even drawing, to keep your hips and your legs and your knees and even your feet used to sitting like this. So my toes are down. I don't have active toes, although that feels kind of good if everybody wants to do a little stretch of their feet for a minute, you can. And then sit in a comfortable seiza position. Rest your hands one on top of the other in your lap. Your thumbs can touch each other. Your shoulders are relaxed, but nice posture. They're not slouching forward. Your spine is straight. Your chin is up. Your face is relaxed. I want everybody to close your eyes. We're going to do 1 minute of breathing. And I want you to think of one thing that you're really happy about that's in your life right now. It can be anything at all. It can be the sunny day. It can be a plan you have in the future. It can be this very moment. Doesn't matter. Just close your eyes. Think about one thing that you're happy about. Breathe in through your nose. Out through your mouth. In through your nose. Out through your mouth. One more breath. In through your nose. Out through your mouth. Put your hands on your knees. Open your eyes. And the last thing I'm going to ask you to do is think about how your body feels right now. And think about how your body felt 40 minutes ago. And remember this exercise. If you're ever feeling anxious or annoyed or mad or even really happy, whatever you're feeling, and you want to kind of get out of that moment, you can do any of these exercises that we did today. And if you end with a quiet moment all to yourself, you think of one thing that's good, take some breaths, I guarantee you'll be in a good place. So with that, I'll say one last time how proud I am of all of you for coming today. You're practicing Aikido, you're showing up, you're going with the flow, you're beautiful Aikidoka. And before we bow out, I have a fun announcement. Let me get my glasses. Can I announce our next teacher? Is it okay? Okay, so before she speaks for herself, I'd like to just say Anna Gallagher Sensei will be our next Sensei for kids class in 3 weeks. She is a talented and very, very senior Aikidoka. She knows a lot of cool stuff. She's guaranteed to teach you all some amazing stuff, and she's also my friend. Hi, Anna.
Hi, thank you for class. It was awesome. Hello, everyone. I would just like to take a second to thank the board and the working group for inviting me, and I really look forward to training and practicing with you all. So see you in 3 weeks.
September 12th.
September 12th.
September 12th.
Okay, so good job, everybody. Beautiful work. Before we bow out, I'd like to thank one more time the working group and the USAF and the board, and especially Yamada Sensei. If he's watching, thank you, Sensei. I miss you. I can't wait to see you again. And as a class, let's all bow out together. Ready? Great. And domo arigatou gozaimashita.
Arigato.
Great job, everybody. Oh, my glasses are all foggy. Let's see.